Really hypnotise myself then. Jan Taylor, Indigo Soul, and in case you haven't guessed, today I'm going to talk about pendulum dowsing. I'm going to give you 8 top tips to pendulum dowsing. Dowsing is one of my absolutely favourite things to do. If you're someone like me that struggles to make decisions, then pendulum dowsing is for you if you don't do it already. And if you know what you're doing and um, you know the ins and outs and the do's and the don'ts, then you can get really accurate results. You can dose on anything from should I wear this particular crystal today to food intolerances. You could have what we call a dosing chart, and you could add all the foods that you think upset you, and you could dose onto which two foods you should and shouldn't eat. So it's an absolutely fabulous tool. You can only ask yes or no questions with it. Some people do maybe, but I don't like maybe. I like black and white. I don't like in between. So I tend to just ask yes or no questions. So here are my 8 top tips for pendulum dowsing. First of all, must always make sure that you are well balanced beforehand. And by that I mean, if your energy's scattered, if it's all over the place, if you're a bit upset, you're a bit angry, then don't dose unless you can centre and balance your energy, because you're not going to get accurate answers when your energy's not right. So always make sure that you are well in balance. Make sure that you ground and centre and protect yourself before you start. I always call in my guides and angels of 100% light to guide and protect me whilst I'm pendulum dowsing. And another thing that you need to do is make sure that you clear your pendulum as well in between whoever you're dowsing for. If I'm just dowsing for myself, I tend to just invite my guides and angels in the morning whilst holding my pendulum in your left hand. It's always the opposite hand to your dominant hand is the hand that you receive. So mine's my left hand because I write with my right hand. So I always hold it in my hand, and I invite my guides and angels 100% light to guide and protect me with pendulum dowsing for myself all day. So I have to do it once for myself. But then if you're dowsing for other people as well, you want to make sure that you clear your pendulum in between. If you want to know how to clear your pendulum, just ask me, because I've got a blog on clearing crystals, which is the same as clearing your pendulum. Okay, so number 1, always make sure you're in balance and you are grounded and protected before you start. Number 2, now this is something that I channel from my guides. Very often our thoughts can sort of influence our pendulum. So, something you might want the answer to be yes for something, for instance, and your thoughts can tend to influence it. So that's why people say that they very often don't get accurate results. So what I channeled from my guides for that is to always say unbiased by my thoughts. So I always say before I dose, unbiased by my own thoughts, or it can be the other person's thoughts as well. If you're dosing for someone else, then you ask the question. Okay, so always ask unbiased by my thoughts. Number 3, be really careful about how you phrase your questions. If you say something like, can I ask something, then the answer is always going to be yes, because yes, you can. One thing we shouldn't do is ask about, other people without their permission. So I always say, is it okay to ask? Okay. So you could say, is it okay to ask, or should I ask? So always make sure that you phrase your questions properly. That leads me on to number 4. You shouldn't ask questions about someone else. So for instance, you couldn't say, is so-and-so going to marry me, for instance, because that's someone else's control, not yours, and you shouldn't ask about anyone else without their permission, because really you're tapping into their energy without their permission. It's a big no, and that's when you very often get inaccurate results as well. Number 5, always remember that the future can change. So what answer you get today might not be the same as what you get next week. So if it's something that you're asking about, you might want to ask regularly just to make sure. Number 6, it is not good practice to diagnose illness with a pendulum. It's really bad practice to do that, and you're never going to be sure of accurate results. So that's a big no-no as well. Number 7, you cannot predict a time period accurately. So if somebody says to you, when am I going to get a new job? You can't really dose on that. You can ask in days. For instance, I use that for crystal healing. How many days should I leave a crystal web for? And then you can ask in stages of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. To see which answer you get. And that's because them upstairs, as I like to call them, can only measure time in periods of when the sun sets or when we get when the moon comes out. So you know, it can only be done in days, really. Months and years don't really mean anything. You can ask things like, will it happen before Christmas? But then again, time is not always accurate, so always take that with a pinch of salt. It can give you an idea, but things can change. And usually when things change, it's for your best, for the best anyway. It's for your highest good. So it might be that something better's coming along. If you say if it's for a job that you're looking for or something, then know that if you don't get it, then it's always for your highest good, that there's something better coming along. Right, number 8, I've got them all listed down here so I don't forget. You shouldn't try and predict anything about finances either, because that's out of your control and it's a big no-no. You can dose to see what goal you should set. I always dose for what I should charge for a service. You know, if I'm unsure whether it's the right price, I will dose on it. So that's number 8. So that's it. Those are my 8 top tips for pendulum dowsing in order to get accurate results. If you are unsure about pendulum dowsing, or you've never done it before and you want to learn, then I have a free masterclass available on Teachable on my online learning platform, sorry. So if you'd like to sign up to that, just click on the link below, okay? And I just want to mention as well that my offer for my spiritual development course has been extended to the end of April because it's my birthday month, so I've decided to extend it a little bit longer. So you can get my spiritual development course at a special offer throughout April, and also for the first 8 to sign up, you get my Oracle card reading course absolutely free, and you also get 10 months free in the tribe as well, which is worth £150. And in the tribe I send Reiki to everyone's individual intentions once a week, as well as share some spiritual topics in there as well. Okay, so happy dowsing. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments. I'm always happy to help. Bye for now. See you soon.